Right, so recently Gurman had told us breaking news that the second generation AirPods Max were coming soon in 2024. Wow, what a revolutionary tidbit. But thankfully he does now further clarify on what to expect, and I'm a little confused, I can't lie. Let's delve in. So if you were to ask your average Apple sheep as to what they expect with the new pair of AirPods Max, one might say, hey, it should get feature parity at the very least with the cheaper AirPods Pro, right? Right? Well, apparently not, because Gurman in this new report says AirPods Max 2 are going to continue using the older H1 chipset and won't get the upgrade to H2 like we saw with AirPods Pro a year ago. Now you're probably thinking, oh, that doesn't make a big difference, right? It's like A15 and A16, they're basically the same. But let me stop you right there, because no, that's not the case. They're not the same. H1 lacks support for big features like adaptive audio, conversational awareness, personalized volume, and support for the Siri wake words. That is quite a chunk of features I love using with AirPods Pro that these $500 pair of headphones seemingly aren't getting. And by the way, would like to remind you guys, like this video and subscribe for more content like this. It would be appreciated. And things get weirder, because Gurman then says that maybe these aren't even a new generation of AirPods Max, and all Apple does is give USB-C to the existing pair and call it a day. Yes, if you've been waiting for years for new Apple headphones, we're really not getting much apparently. Now of course, Gurman being Gurman, he does try to save himself by saying things could possibly change, so basically even he's unsure about this. But guys, I don't see this happening. Surely it would be cheaper and simpler for the supply chain to use H2 across the range, and considering we have heard about a new version of the regular AirPods on the way, they should update the range at once, and it would benefit us consumers because no longer would you have to just buy the Pros to get these great features. Like adaptive audio for example, you can now get that on the more expensive Maxes, because you shouldn't be paying more and getting less features. How does that make sense? Also, Apple on average updates every AirPods model every 3 years, and so for them to literally do nothing with the Maxes, but give it a new port 3 years later is ludicrous. I know that Apple likely wants to give these a new port because the European Union is forcing them to do this, but if they're going to be ever so slightly redesigning these headphones in the first place to accommodate a new port, they might as well give us some other upgrades. Now yes, I know AirPods Pro this year did not get an update apart from the new port, but that was because they were updated in 2022. They already had the latest specs, unlike AirPods Max, which was last refreshed in 2020. That was a long time ago. I'm not asking for a big redesign here, I just want at the very least internal upgrades to these. And so I would be disappointed if Gurman's right about this, but unfortunately he often is. Now I guess Apple could salvage this refresh by lowering the price, but even then it would still be very weird that Apple's $250 earbuds are technically superior to their $500 headphones. I don't care if Tim wants to save his cash because AirPods Max aren't selling that well, give us a better upgrade, and they better give us H2 for lineup consistency alone. And if I'm being honest, even if they only gave us H2, that would also be a very disappointing refresh because there's a lot Apple needs to fix with the Maxes. So of course, let's now get into my wish list. The first change I want is better audio. This is usually what companies do with a refresh to an existing pair of headphones. And remember that everyone raved about the sound quality improvements with the second gen Pros, so just bring that to the Maxes. That's all I ask. Now yes, I know the AirPods Max already sound excellent, but what's wrong in further extending their lead in this department? They have more space to work with the Maxes anyways because they're larger, so chuck in some new drivers. No one's gonna complain about better audio. Another aspect AirPods Pro 2 upgraded was ANC, which I'm hoping the Maxes also get, along with adaptive transparency mode to protect your ears from harsh sounds. I would also like the conversation boost feature AirPods Pro already has. It's very handy, and once again, I'm frankly surprised AirPods Max did not offer this in the first place. Wow, we are missing a ton of features right now. Now, one thing I do wonder if Apple's going to give us is water and sweat resistance. Now, why I'm unsure is because AirPods Max aren't really made for workouts, which is the sole reason headphones usually get IP ratings. These bad boys are hefty, so they're not really ideal as gym headphones, But there is the condensation issue the current pair has, so to protect the internal components, they might have no choice but to give this some sort of IP rating because no one wants their very expensive pair of headphones to randomly stop working because of a random design flaw. And actually, I've seen many complaints about the reliability of these, so clearly a lot of modifications need to be made with the design so that these actually last longer. Another upgrade I would like to see is better battery life. If we get the H2, I think that alone is going to improve the endurance by at least 1 hour or so, but to be honest, Apple should further push the envelope and give us a major battery upgrade because AirPods Max could be much better in this aspect. Now yes, if you go on Apple's site, you will notice the Maxes destroy the other AirPods, which seems impressive. But then you realize that's because the bigger, so of course they're better, but if you compare them to other headphones on the market, like the Sony XM5s, these do fall behind and offer 10 hours less of endurance, so it's time Apple matches the competition in this aspect. The next thing I'm sure many absolutely want to see is a better case. Everybody basically agreed on the fact the original pair had a shockingly horrific smart case that wasn't really smart because it offered no protection to the actual headphones. Thankfully, there have been patents of a more traditional case in the works, and so I'm praying Timothy comes to his senses and we see that with the new Maxes. Also, Bluetooth 5.3 is something we can expect. We did just see the USB-C AirPods randomly gain lossless, and so again, the Maxes better get this. But now let's get into the biggest issue by far with the original Maxes, which was the price. I know Apple tax is a thing, but these are frankly way too expensive, and most, including myself, could not justify the price. I'm not selling my kidneys for a pair of headphones, they're not that good. Now thankfully via third parties, the price did drop down to $350, which is a much fairer price. Now there is no way Timothy's gonna be that generous. However, there is a chance the retail price drops to $499 or $449, which I'll take at this point if we get all the upgrades we ideally want, and that is a much fairer price. Finally, let's talk about colors. I was actually surprised Gurman said nothing about this in his new report because he mentioned there would be new shades in his previous reports, but now he says nothing about it. I personally think new colors will definitely be a thing because, let's be honest, how else are you going to flex you have the new Maxes? You need some brand new shades to set them apart. Also, the current colors are based on the iPad Air 4 from 2020, so it's time we get some new shades. And maybe this time they're based on the upcoming iPad Air 6. Anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comments, make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this, and thank you for watching.